Hello, good afternoon. I'm sorry, I think I'm having a little technical difficulty. Hi, can you hear me okay? See me okay? The connection was a little weird. I hope we're doing all right here. Okay, good. Yay. So we are waiting to connect with Dr. Amanda from SourcePoint Wellness. We'll give her a second to join. There she is. We'll get her in here and she can tell us all of the amazing things she's up to. Here we go. Okay. Hi, Dr. Amanda.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, there you are.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, East Coast.
Yes, 2 p.m. So I'm rounding out my day. You're still in the middle of yours.
Oh, yeah, just getting started.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm super excited to be here. So thanks for having me.
Yes, we're so glad you're here. I'm glad we can kind of elaborate a little bit more on what you're doing and what the offering looks like and help people kind of get a better idea of what that looks like and if it may be right for them.
Yes.
Yeah, we can jump right in. I'd love for you to just tell us a little bit more about who Dr. Amanda is and what SourcePoint Wellness is.
Okay. Hello. So I'm Dr. Amanda Cohen, Dr. Amanda. I'm a doctor of Chinese medicine and functional medicine. So basically, what I do is with my patients, I look at everything from the East and West perspective. And with Chinese medicine, you really address mind, body, and spirit. So really doing a deep dive into all aspects of someone's being and treating it on all levels. So I also incorporate herbal medicine. And then I also run labs and do like nerdy science type stuff also, because that's like equally as fun for me. And basically, SourcePoint Wellness is in Los Angeles. It's a super cozy kind of, you walk in and you just feel like you're in a sacred space. It feels like a living room, kind of bohemian, and just I have a wonderful team working with me. And I absolutely love my patients and been helping a ton of people for over 6 years, and really excited to have the ability now to help people all over the world, and which I'll explain what that looks like.
Yeah.
So basically what happened is that I many people from Gwella, first of all, Gwella is so awesome, and just thank you for creating a space for all of us healers and practitioners to really share our gifts to help heal each other and the world. And it's just so incredible that you've created such a beautiful community, and thank you for having me be part of it.
Oh, thank you. So
So,
welcome. We hope that's the
um,
plan.
it's wonderful. So community is super, super important. And what happened basically before COVID is that I have been trained in many different lineages of Reiki. And the most recent one, which was in 2019, which I'm not sure if people know what, with distance Reiki, you're able to heal from a distance. So
Right.
there's a lot of people, I'm sure, of the Gwella community that do practice either Reiki or some sort of modality that you're able to access people's energy from a distance. And so I decided that, I was just going to play around, and I knew that I was able to send healing to people anywhere, but I wanted to start to envision the meridians and the acupuncture points and start to see if I was able to boost energy, clear pain, help with stress, insomnia. So I just started practicing on my friends all over the world. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people in New York, actually, and Canada, Europe, Eastern Europe, Africa, just like all over.
Yeah.
And it's incredible because I could basically get the same results that I could in person in terms of clearing pain, like within a few seconds. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty astonishing. I think something about combining and honing in the Reiki with the meridians and the acupuncture points, it feels like it works even better than needles. And I'm an acupuncturist, and I, of course, still use needles, but it's amazing that I have someone in Nigeria with a migraine and shoulder pain, and then she's free of it, within a few seconds. And so I just with COVID, so I was doing that kind of for fun, and then with COVID, so a lot of my patients, even though I stayed open, were afraid to come in, and there were people that were just suffering with a ton of anxiety, and then people who got COVID who had breathing issues, I was able to help open their lungs and help boost their immune system, and from the safety of their own home and my own
Right.
office. And so I just started to do a lot of pro bono work and just really just offer this as a service to a lot of people. And then of course to my patients. And so I just got pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And I think that's with anything, you know, you just practice and you sort of incorporate your training and think outside the box, and there was a need. And so I just started to fill that in. And so that's just something, I mean, I have a very busy practice in person, but then I also have quite a busy practice with my virtual acupuncture. Like I call it High Priestess Healing, which I can discuss,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's great. And so what I realize is that, you know, I went to school for 8 years. I spent like over 400,000 in student loans. Like it's a lot, you know, and I love it. I don't regret it, but I feel like there's a need for people to learn this. Like it's not just like,
Yeah.
oh, like, I mean, I think there's incredible modalities out there, but like, I don't know if there's anything out there where you can actually treat pain fast and effectively. And
Right.
with pain, it's like, you have to know what meridian it is. Like with headaches, for example, like this is your stomach and large intestine meridian. A
Mm-hmm.
frontal headache is different from like one on the side or one in the back. And so you have to know, is this a stomach meridian? Is this a gallbladder meridian headache? Is this a urinary bladder meridian? You know, just kind of be able to learn that. And so what I decided is I wanted to create a course where people didn't have to go to school for 6 to 8 years. People didn't have to spend hundreds of $1,000s to be able to help heal other people in a way that is really essentially honed in Reiki.
Right.
So I took thousands of pages of text from my very confusing textbooks. And I don't know, I'm sure you guys have experienced this, but like trying to make something very complicated simple is very challenging. So I've been writing this for a year, and I just basically have taken the essence of how to really learn and apply using that meridians and the acupuncture points in a way that's really easy. You know, of course we're going to go over anatomy and stuff, and of course we're going to go over the meridians, but I want people, even after the first couple lectures, to be able to start to apply this. And that's the thing that I think that we do a lot of trainings and we don't get any guidance of like, how can this incorporate with like, okay, I'm a shaman, how can I bring this in? Or, okay, I already have Reiki, how will this collaborate with that? And it's like, well, it makes it even more effective in a way, you know, because you're actually, the acupuncture points, you're activating them. They're like portals all over your body.
Yeah.
And so the other thing too, that's super cool is that a lot of people who are still doing face-to-face, not virtual, is that it's creating a way where people can do like stickers with magnets on the points, or use crystals or use oils, so that say you're actually able to double your time. So you're able to see, if you had 2 rooms, you're able to like help one person. Say one person has a headache, you kind of get them all, you know, cozy and just do the right points, let them rest, and then you move to the next one. So you're actually able to double your income. So this is really helpful if people are doing a massage therapist,
Yes.
you know, it really applies if you're doing Akashic records. You're able
Mm-hmm.
to go, there's ways to access like the DNA through the acupuncture points. And so there's just, what's cool is that Jen and I work with each person and help them apply it. And so how do you take this? And so there's a lot of individual attention about making it something that you could really, everyone's going to have a different, you're going to learn the same thing, but everyone's going to have a different application of it depending on, you could just learn High Priestess Healing and be a lawyer. You know, you could be a banker, you could be a teenager in high school, you could be, you know, like, it doesn't matter. So you could practice that, but I think a lot of people at Gwella are already doing some healing modalities. So how do we sort of work with each person to incorporate that?
Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of out of this past year and the kind of the circumstances that we experienced collectively. It kind of it's hitting like so many different important points, right? Like it's helping practitioners add another layer of healing to their. It's certainly helping healing from the collective, right? And clients who
Yeah.
are receiving this, practitioners who are also receiving this. If you have practitioners who are trying cover financially, who were maybe, out of their offices for several months. And now, like you said, if you can kind of set yourself up in a way where you can be utilizing this modality to help your financial growth as well, it's just
Yes.
putting really important factors that I think in the distance component versus the in-person, also able to kind of use what works for you at this time, because everyone is still in such different circumstances depending on where they are or what they do or whatever. And so you're covering like a lot of ground, which I think is really, really with this. Yeah. Um, can you tell us a little bit about the name High Priestess program and where that?
Yeah, so I think I was going to say, when you're talking about covering a lot of ground, I'm like, that's where the High Priestess comes in, because she is the embodiment of all the world's traditions in healing in one. I mean, she has the crown of Hathor, which is Egyptian. Hathor's like my favorite goddess. I love her. And I have a image of the tarot right in front of me, but she has surrounded by lotus flowers, and which brings in the Hindu. She's holding the Torah. She has a cross on her chest. She is surrounded by two pillars that represent Islam. So I think it's really this idea. I mean, I come from a lineage, I'm Jewish, but my mom's Christian, and she is Italian. And so I've always been someone who really loves to embrace all parts of myself. I've studied Buddhism for most of my life. And so that's really my go-to a lot when I go through challenging times. So I think that it's like, we do all have wisdom, and she does think outside the box, and she does incorporate, and it's not, I think we've all come from trainings that are very traditional and very like, this is the way you do it. And I deliberately, Jen and I created something where we're like, here's a structure and it works, but it's also part of this, and part of having the High Priestess is making it your own. And also, what services and what things do you offer that could also share with the community of other? We have an amazing team of people, of students that are already taking it, and they're all in such different. Some of them aren't even healers at all. They're just really excited about being able to heal grandma's knee pain in Nebraska. And I think it's just exciting. And I think that I felt, well, first of all, Cohen means high priest, so Cohen as my last name, I think of High Priestess. So I was like, before even that was like that's a good name. I just love everything she embodies. And one of my dear friends, Madame Pamita, she has an amazing book on tarot, and her description of the High Priestess is like the most beautiful thing. If any of you guys get that book, it's just wonderful. And I also, the past 2.5 years, I really started studying tarot too. So I think that she kind of came into me. And another thing too about the High Priestess and just about this modality is that, and this is how I practice even before I was doing anything virtual, is that, Western medicine, I love it. I have MD colleagues. I love them. It's incredible medicine. I refer to them. But both Western medicine and Chinese medicine tend to be very rigid and masculine. And the way that I practice medicine is like, I take my time with each person. I think outside the box. I kind of weave. The way my brain thinks is like, I weave in and out of East and West and look at deep-rooted things. And so that's the way I practice. And so creating a modality that it's the same thing where, yes, you're going to learn the meridians. You're going to learn basic Chinese theory. You're going to learn the acupuncture points to support, to really nourish and support, and then also to clear pain. So how to really balance that, supporting the body and also to being able to release things. But I'm also interweaving goddess into that. And so I've been studying, there's a lot of Egyptian mythology that I'm incorporating into the course, because that's what really has projected me into creating this. And so I think it's kind of almost this evolving medicine that is like collaborative,
right? Like cookie cutter approach, not a one size fits all, but very kind of letting practitioners or anyone kind of weave in their information, their knowledge, their expertise with the guidance of what you're providing through the program as well.
Exactly. So also having that stuff like, okay, hi Madison's here. So I think just really looking and supporting, because it's not just like, here's a modality it's like, here's a way to heal the body, mind, and spirit, and it works. but
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing, and how can we work together so that you can incorporate this? And you know what, money is spiritual, so like we want people to, of course, like my goal is to create more people to be able to like help and change the world and feel empowered, but we also want people that are going to be making money doing this modality and then having that continued support.
Yes.
So I think that that has been lacking, you know, for me when I studied Chinese medicine. There was no like, it's like, here's your license, bye, you know, like there's nothing. And so this is like, here you go, and we're still here to hold you even
Yeah.
after the course is done. Like we're still here. And so I think that it's a more feminine way of medicine, and that's just another way, like it's the way I practice, and now to be able to teach other people to practice medicine in the same way feels really exciting and really needed. And so the first level is really getting good at like healing yourself and people in person. So really understanding the anatomy and feeling the points. And then in level 2, we get more into, because a lot of people that are taking it already have distance Reiki.
Right.
So they're welcome to play around, but they're getting the lineage of High Priestess Reiki, which Jen is teaching, which is different. And I can tell you, learning from Jen, I've learned symbols that I've never seen before, where you can literally like heal like quantum, like different timelines, different, like it's pretty, it's nothing like I've seen. So that's something that we're going to be doing. But because I work so much with the goddess energy, and gods too, I'm always like goddess, but I'm like, I love Ganesh and I love Thoth, and like I do have some others, Horus. But I think that learning that from that way and infusing that, it's makes it more like we're all together, we all contain that. And so it's like we're all able to, we have these maps of these meridians and these acupuncture points, and then we come together as a community to learn and to grow and to expand and to be like profitable doing it, because it is a time when people are very scared about their futures. And I had to, for myself, who owns a brick and mortar, who has a very expensive rent in Los Angeles, I had to think outside the box, not just because I wanted to help more people, but also I was like, I have to, in case I can't stay open, like, what do I do? How do I help people? So now this is something other people can do too. So I'm super excited.
That aligns a lot with, you know, part of our kind of mission is definitely related to the equitability. Like, yes, we want practice book new clients on the hour or whatever that might look like, but we also want people to feel like they can generate other streams of income and to have some flexibility in that, and to be able to kind of, you know, add into their toolbox and make them feel more, you know, stable and profitable from a business perspective, while also kind of cultivating that call for healing others.
And I think what's really important is in med school, we had case studies. So we would say, okay, I have this person and they have really bad fatigue and insomnia, and they have neck pain and a cough. All right. So it's like, that is something that will be ongoing, that once you take the course, you'll have containers where we can kind of go over things, because guess what? There's many ways to treat neck pain. You know, there's many ways. And so there's a lot of, it's the fluidity of Chinese medicine, where you're able to get great results doing different things. And so having that support where it's like, you're able to apply it. And then I think just financially, I charge $180 a half hour for this. So you could potentially be making $260 an hour. And it could, I mean, I spend time talking with people, but the actual healing, it only takes like 15 minutes, you know? So it's not, I mean, we're doing it from a distance. In person, you have to kind of apply, usually need things to kind of marinate for like 25 minutes. I call marinate. That's like when people have acupuncture needles or my dear friend Marisol, she uses oils and crystals and so different things. So there's lots of ways to activate the meridians. I just use my mind, but that's what I'm training people to do. So you don't need anything really. Once you get the level 2, you really don't need anything except just your brain. What's that?
You've started a group running? The first group?
It starts February 16th. So we have people signed up for the group. We have an incredible group. We're all women so far, but it's definitely open to men.
Okay. And how run?
So the first one's going to be 4 months, 16 weeks. So it goes from February 16th to I think June 1st. And
Okay.
it meets every other Tuesday from 5 to 7.
Okay.
And we're going to have it recorded. So it's going to be over Zoom, but we're also going to have it. We're going to have a course website. And I'm also going to have a lot of videos on there, like how to find the points and different things, because I think that it's nice to have that feedback. And we're just going to go over theory, but really application. Like, these are the meridians. These are the points that help support this organ. This is the point that helps support the meridian, you know, and so each organ and meridian is associated with what I channeled as a particular goddess. But it can also, like, even though I resonate with the spleen, which is about digestion and deep nourishment with Hathor, someone else might be, you know, I feel like that's more Kuan Yin. You know, I don't know. Like, people can have their own interpretation, because I'm coming from a place of, I went to Cornell, I went to UC Irvine, I went to Emperor's College, which is like super intense Chinese medicine school. So I want people to feel empowered to say, you know, I'm getting something different. You know, I feel really like, great, that's awesome. You know, like, there's not just one way, but the points are the points. You have to know where they are. Like, that really doesn't change. And, you know, that's something that's stable, but the way you apply them and what the meaning behind them for you. I have a relationship with each organ. You know, I feel like connected with them, each point. They're like friends. So I think that, but it is, so much of it is about encouraging, and that's the High Priestess, is making it your own and using your own tradition to expand upon what we're going to be teaching. And we'll help you.
What kind of issues that they can help their clients with through the High Priestess healing?
So basically, anything you can do with acupuncture, you can do with High Priestess. So I would say number one is pain. So one of the number one things that I treat on a regular basis virtually are migraines and headaches and neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, boosting the immune system, helping to support energy, digestion. Like even like constipation, like someone's constipated, you can like help. It's crazy. Really, I work a lot on calming the nervous system. So just like, you know, people are in constant state of stress. So just kind of really, I'm going to teach you guys, like,
I think a lot of people could relate currently.
Yeah. Like, so we ground, so how to ground to the earth, but also how to ground yourself. So there's points that actually like zip you up and take your power back. And that's actually one of the first things we're going to learn, because I feel like most people right now are so scattered. And so it's almost like locking you back into your own energy. And so, like, I think that you really can treat most things, although of course, if someone needs antibiotics or they can't breathe or like all of these things, like, you know, we're going to go over things that you need to refer out to a physician. You know, a lot of things I think with COVID symptoms where they can't get support and they're having trouble breathing, but they're not at the place where it's just a little shortness of breath, but they're past the point of like going to the hospital. Of course, if someone's having trouble breathing, send them to the hospital. But if they're like, it's just a residual COVID thing, I think the COVID aftercare is really important to like, a lot of people are struggling with endurance. Like shortness of breath, fatigue, hair loss is something usually you need to kind of deal with herbs. But that's something I've been dealing with a lot of my practices post-COVID, hair loss. But I think you really, one of the biggest things is pain. I mean, that is like, I'm teaching my students like how to quickly figure out. That's why you have to know the meridians so well, like how to really be like distinguished and ask the questions. Like, okay, tell me exactly where your pain is. And you're able to clear it. And, you know, you could do this over the phone. You could do it over Zoom. People are going to be practicing on their loved ones and themselves first. But I think that people who already have some distance healing, it might be fun just to start to play around with that. But we are going to be providing High Priestess Reiki level 1 for level 1 and High Priestess Reiki level 2. And then level 2 is also, I have downloaded in my own like meditations different acupuncture patterns based on different goddesses. So that's something I'm going to be teaching as well.
Amazing.
More esoteric things. But level 1 is like, you've got to be good with pain and you have to be able to calm the body down and the mind down. And so like, and grounding and open the breath and strengthen the energy. And so those are things that level 1 you can be confident in doing. And to do level 1 and 2, then you get the certification in it where you get the little diploma. And
Yeah.
and then we go over like, okay, how to start your practice. Most people, I'm going to encourage them to start infusing into their current practice or practice on their loved ones if they're not already a healer. But we'll guide people in saying, okay, so now what are the next steps? And like getting healer's insurance and like, you know, just these things that I think that the idea of starting a business or, you know, for the Gwella community, enhancing your practice, like sometimes you just need that support. And, you know, both Jen and I have been in business a long time. So we're here. Like, it's not just, you know, we're teaching you and bye. It's like, let's make this yours. And
it's something I talk about a lot with healers as they onboard, that, you know, and I experienced this as a psychotherapist and you know, with a social work training, that, you know, just because you feel that intrinsic motivation to be in a profession where you're helping others doesn't mean that anyone's teaching you how to do the business part, or that you have any natural skills in doing the business part. So I think that great kind of aftercare that you're providing of like, okay, now how do you apply this? How do you make this happen for your own livelihood and your own practice is critically important.
Well, yeah, and both Jen and I have so Jen is in Canada, I'm in Los Angeles. We're like best friends, but we're in different countries. We've never met physically. But she's my mentor, my spiritual mentor, and she helped me because she does a lot of prosperity coaching and spiritual coaching. She helped me go from being a sole proprietor acupuncturist to like building a wellness center where now I have 5 people who work for me. I say work with me because we work together, but like essentially I pay them. But I think, you know, like I run a very successful business. And so I think, and so does Jen. And I think that there's no reason why you can't learn this, or even maybe having the support. Maybe there's some things you could learn from having a group of people to even make your business more successful. Because it's all about flow and going beyond the fear and stepping up to, like, to me, I feel like I just have to step up and help people feel more empowered. That's like my personal soul mission. It's like as a doctor, it's like all of my patients, I want them to feel empowered. Like, and so I feel in my practice is like very different from like, here's what you do. It's like we work together to heal. And so I think it's the same thing with my students, where it's like, how can we make this the best for you? And so I think that, but we all have to just start with taking the leap, right? And just kind of trusting and letting, kind of free falling and letting people catch you. And that's what I did. And it's worked out pretty well.
This sounds like it's going to be such an amazing opportunity. Can you tell us a little bit about the offer that you were sharing with the Gwella community? So if anybody's watching here, if they're interested.
Yeah, and we're, you know, it's so generous and we're so happy. So we do have 2 Gwella scholarships where you, it's Gwella 400, but we'll write this down so you guys know. So the first 2 people, it's first come, first serve. You get $400 off, and that's for the payment plan. So it's like you get $400 off, and then you still get to pay per month. So it's not like a big chunk of money, because I think that we're all kind of in a place where it's like hard to put down a lot of money. And it's not a lot of money. It's not. We're trying to make it a good price point. And then after those scholarships are claimed, Gwella, the code Gwella gets you $200 off your first payment. So you know, we tried to keep it really affordable because we just want people to learn this. And just feel really empowered and feel good about themselves, heal themselves, be able to heal their clients better, and then have that community and that community also to learn, to practice, and then to grow, like how to apply it and just be like super successful, because that's what we want. We want our healers to be successful, because we need more of us. Like, you know, I think that there is this fear of like, oh my gosh, no one's gonna pay, like, this, because, but it's like, that is the thing that people are investing so much in, is health, mental health, spiritual health, getting rid of trauma, community. I mean, these are things that we're offering as part of the Gwella community that you guys have done. This is our sort of extension of that. So
Well, we are so excited for this. We're so excited for you and so grateful to you and Jen, and we can't wait to see how this all unfolds and how people do. I will make sure that when we save this, we'll put some of your information in the comments so people can link directly to you or get to you through us, however they need to get there. Is there anything we didn't touch on that you want people to know about the High Priestess Healing Program?
I'm just so excited. It's so funny. I worked for 12 hours yesterday seeing patients, and something about the creation of it, it has its own life force. Like, cause I'm not tired at all. Like, I mean, the rest of the day I'm going to be writing, and I don't know. There's just something about it that just feels like we're tapping into something just so beautiful. And I'm like, it makes me want to cry. We just had someone sign up today from Indonesia.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, really expanding it. My goal is to have sort of these lights pop up all over the world, that we're all connected, and sort of, and then those lights become meridians, those lights become acupuncture points, and it's all connecting us, and then it like reflects in the stars, and
it's such a beautiful visual.
So I don't know, I'm really, really excited, and people can DM me if you want to ask questions, like we can hop on a call, just see if it's the right program for you.
Great.
I usually am on Dr. Amanda Cohen more than Source Point Wellness. If you send me a DM to Source Point Wellness, you might have to wait a little bit longer because I forget to I'm more on the Dr. Amanda Cohen one, but either one's fine. But yeah, I'm an open book, so if anyone has questions, just let me know. But I'm really excited about it, and hope you guys take a look. It's on Source Point Wellness on our website under High Priestess Healing, so that gives us a nice description of what we're doing.
We'll get you up on the events tab in Gwella. We'll try to get it out there everywhere we can, and help you connect with as many people as possible.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so nice to see you, Dr. Amanda. We'll talk again soon.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Okay,
bye.
Bye.